Adonai said to Noach, "Come unto the ark, you and all your household, for I have seen that you alone in this generation are righteous before me. Of every clean animal you are to take 7 couples, and of the animals that are not clean, 1 couple. Also of the birds in the air take 7 couples, in order to preserve their species throughout the earth. For in 7 more days I will cause it to rain on the earth 40 days and 40 nights. I will wipe out every living thing that I have made from the face of the earth." Noach did all that Adonai ordered him to do. Noach was 600 years old when the waters flooded the earth. Noach went into the ark with his sons, his wife, and his sons' wives, because of the floodwaters, of clean animals, of animals that are not clean, of birds, and of everything that creeps on the ground. Couples, male and female, went into Noach in the ark, as God had ordered Noach. After 7 days the water flooded the earth. On the 17th day of the 2nd month of the 600th year of Noach's life, all the fountains of the great deep were broken up, and the windows of the sky were opened. It rained on the earth 40 days and 40 nights. On the same day, Noach entered the ark with Shem, Ham, and Japheth, the sons of Noach, Noach's wife, and the 3 wives of his sons accompanying them. They and every animal of every species, all the livestock of every species, every animal that creeps on the ground of every species, and every bird of every species, all sorts of winged creatures, they went into Noach in the ark, couples from every kind of living thing that breathes. Those that entered in went in male and female, from every kind of living being, as God had ordered him, and Adonai shut him inside. The flood was 40 days on the earth. The water grew higher and floated the ark so that it was lifted up off the earth. The water overflowed the earth and grew deeper until the ark floated on the surface of the water. The water overpowered the earth mightily. All the high mountains were under the sky were covered. The water covered the mountains by more than 22.5 feet. All living beings that moved on the earth perished: birds, livestock, other animals, insects, and every human being. Everything in whose nostrils was the breath of the Spirit of life. Whatever was on dry land died. He wiped out every living thing on the surface of the ground, not only human beings, but livestock, creeping animals, and the birds of the air. They were wiped out from the earth. Only Noach was left, along with those who were with him in the ark. The water held power over the earth for 150 days. God remembered Noach, every living thing, and all the livestock with him in the ark. So God caused a wind to pass over the earth, and the water began to go down. Also, the fountains of the deep and the windows of the sky were stopped. The rain from the sky was restrained, and the water came back from completely covering the earth. It was after 150 days that the water went down. On the 17th day of the 7th month, the ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. The water kept going down until the 10th month. On the first day of the 10th month, the tops of the mountains were seen. After 40 days, Noach opened the window of the ark which he had built, and he sent out a raven, which flew back and forth until the water had dried up from the earth. Then he sent out a dove to see if the water had gone down from the surface of the ground. But the dove found no place to rest her feet. So she returned to him in the ark, because the water still covered the whole earth. He put out his hand, took her, and brought her into him in the ark. He waited another 7 days and again sent out the dove from the ark. The dove came to him in the evening, and there in her mouth was a freshly plucked olive leaf. So Noach knew that the water had cleared from the earth. He waited yet another 7 days and sent out the dove. She didn't return to him anymore. By the first day of the first month of the 601st year, the water had dried up off of the earth. So Noach removed the covering of the ark and looked, and yes, the surface of the ground was dry. It was on the 27th day of the second month that the earth was dry. God said to Noach, "Go out from the ark, you, your wife, your sons' wives with you. Bring out with you every living thing that you have with you, birds, livestock, and every animal that creeps on the earth, so that they can swarm on the earth, be fruitful, and multiply on the earth." So Noach went out with his sons, his wife, and his sons' wives, every animal, every creeping thing, and every bird, whatever moves on the earth according to their families, went out of the ark. Noach built an altar to Adonai. Then he took from every clean animal and every clean bird, and he offered burnt offerings on the altar. Adonai smelled the sweet aroma, and Adonai said in his heart, "I will never again curse the ground because of humankind, because the imagings of a person's heart are evil from his youth, nor will I ever again destroy all living things as I have done, so long as the earth exists, sowing time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, and day and night will not cease." God blessed Noach and his sons and said to them, "Be fruitful, multiply, and fill the earth. The fear and dread of you will be upon every wild animal, every bird in the air, every creature populating the ground, and all the fish in the sea. They have been handed over to you. Every moving thing that lives will be food for you. Just as I gave you green plants before, so I give you everything. All flesh with its life, with its blood, you are not to eat. I will certainly demand an accounting for the blood of your lives. I will demand it from every animal and from every human being. I will demand from every human being an accounting for the life of his fellow human being. Whoever sheds human blood by a human being will his own blood be shed. For God made human beings in his own image. And you people, be fruitful, multiply, swarm on the earth, and multiply on it." God spoke to Noach and his sons with him. He said, "As for me, I am herewith establishing my covenant with you, with your descendants after you, and with every living creature that is with you, the birds, the livestock, and every wild animal with you, all going out of the ark, every animal on earth. I will establish my covenant with you, that never again with all living beings will be destroyed by the waters of a flood. There will never again be a flood to destroy the earth." God added, "Here is the sign of the covenant I am making between myself and you and every living creature on the earth. For all generations to come, I am putting my rainbow in the cloud. It will be there as a sign of the covenant between myself and the earth. Whenever I bring clouds over the earth and the rainbow is seen in the cloud, I will remember my covenant which is between myself and you and every living creature of any kind. The water will never again become a flood to destroy all living beings. The rainbow will be in the cloud, so that when I look at it, I will remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of any kind on the earth." God said to Noah, "This is the sign of the covenant which I have established between myself and every living creature on the earth." The sons of Noah who went out from the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japhet. Ham is the father of Canaan. These three were the sons of Noach, and the whole earth was populated by them. Noach, a farmer, was the first to plant a vineyard. He drank so much of the wine that he got drunk, and lay uncovered in his tent. Ham, the father of Canaan, saw his father shamefully exposed, went out, and told his brothers. Shem and Japhet took a cloak, put it over both their shoulders, and walking backwards, went in and covered their naked father. Their faces were turned away, so that they did not see their father laying there shamefully exposed. When Noach awoke from his wine, he knew what his youngest son had done to him. He said, "Cursed be Canaan. He will be a servant of the servants to his brothers." Then he said, "Blessed be Adonai, the God of Shem. Canaan, will be their servant. May God enlarge Japhet. He will live in the tents of Shem, but Canaan will be their servant." After the flood, Noach lived 350 years. In all, Noach lived 950 years, then he died.